Good morning. I am currently 3 miles in to my 31-mile ultra marathon. It's currently 5:30 in the morning on Monday the 26th of July, and I honestly don't know why I'm running this. The thing that's got me learning a bit more about who I am, I sometimes just need to do something to know why I needed to do it. I live in a very beautiful place, but have a look. This is just pure flats right now. This is the Newport Flats, and it stretches for miles, overlooking the city in the distance with the moon. But you know, all those ifs in life, I've just been thinking about ifs. What if my grandmother stayed alive a long enough time to meet Luke? But rarely do we think of the ifs, not just in the past but the future. And sometimes I wonder, you know, with those future ifs, like, what if I worked hard, so much so that I became the greatest songwriter that people would love to work with? What if I ran an ultra marathon? And I've been asking myself that for a while. I think the dream has always been just to run and not grow weary. And I think I'm just leaning into my if today. So far, I'm living my way into the answer. I'm feeling fresh. So we'll see where this goes.
I think, like a lot of people during the first lockdown in the UK last year, I was one of the many that got involved in running, got back to running. My music career took a horrid crash over a period of 3 days. The week before lockdown even, 3 months worth of work was cancelled. And I went into lockdown thinking, oh, well, I've got some stuff coming up, but everything else is cancelled. I was meant to go to LA to do some songwriting, and there were so many exciting things, and I found myself in a place where I needed a creative outlet. I needed somewhere where I could feel things that were outside my comfort zone, and so I went back to running. I had had a bit of experience, but being a 21-year-old, I don't know how you could say you're experienced in life, but I think back in like 2014, I was doing my Duke of Edinburgh award at school, and the exercise that I had chosen as part of that award was to run for 10 minutes every day. I actually couldn't complete my Duke of Edinburgh because I fell over during PE after another falling accident that happened, because I was trying to run to a room super quick and I slid on my knees and smashed into a cupboard, and I tore my meniscus, which is the cartilage behind the kneecap. And since that moment, and before really, my legs were growing longer than everything else, and they were always in pain. My back was in pain because I had bad posture, because I was uncomfortable with the way I looked, and it was just all this stuff. And back in 2017, a friend's dad and I were chatting, and he noticed I was wearing running shoes, and I was guiltily wearing them because I hadn't worn them in ages, and they were the only waterproof pair of shoes I owned at that point, and it was raining. So he noticed them. He was like, oh, do you run? I was like, yeah, kind of. And he said, hey, I'm doing a half marathon in a few months' time. Do you want to join me? And I said, yeah, before I noticed what came out of my mouth. And I ended up running this half marathon. I was buzzing. But this coincided with a time when I was really sick, and I had to be tested for celiac disease, which basically involves poisoning yourself for 2 or 3 months straight in order to then get tested. I actually can't remember much of life during that period of time because I was so sick. If I didn't run from then on for the next 2 years.
I ran a marathon in April this year, and I just did it because I could. And at the beginning of the year, I was thinking, I really want to run a marathon. And so I found a training program online, and I just kind of trained for the 4 months. And then just had one long run after that, which happened to be 26.2 miles.
I loved that. I loved the training, and I loved the marathon. It was a great way to explore this new city we'd found ourselves in.
I honestly can't believe I lived here sometimes. So this is my snacking, my eatage for being on the run. This is pinole. This is an ancient Tara Umara recipe that I found from a great book called Born to Run by Christopher McDougall. Very weird, doesn't taste very nice. And this is what I've got to work with. We're 6 miles in now. I've just come home to replenish. Normally before I run, I would have a bowl of like loads of oats. But obviously it was a bit early today, so I just had a banana. I'm going to try and get some calories in now. I made sure to up the protein intake because of recovery. So there's protein powder in this. And I've also got a bowl of boiled eggs. The reason I'm whispering is that it is currently 6 AM and Luke's still asleep. Look at my glasses. My body is so hot. So we are 10 miles in, that's 1/3 of the way. I'm currently in the rose garden. We've just passed the half marathon mark, so that's 13 miles down. So technically, we only have double of what I've just done, plus 5 miles to go. Actually speaking, a marathon isn't just 2 half marathons on top of another. I can tell you that, having run approximately 1 marathon, several half marathons in training, of course. I've never come here twice in one day before, but look at that sea. I'm not gonna lie, my legs are quite tired. Nearly 3 hours into running non-stop, with my little breaks in between. So that's officially halfway. But this is Penarth. You can see that, I don't know. And then those 2 islands over there, they're islands. I don't know what they're called, I've forgotten. There's one with a lighthouse on it and it's very pretty. And then over there is Cardiff City. That way is Newport. And also, if you see in the distance, which you won't, that is the Severn Bridge. So on a clear day, you can see faint wisps, of the Severn Bridge. And over that way, roundabout, is Bristol. This is why I love it here. There's just such a broad expanse. So I've gone a bit off piste. I think we've hit like 17.5 miles now. But I really wanted to go around this lake. It's another lake and you're gonna see why I love it so much in just a second. We officially have exactly 10 miles left until the end of this ultra marathon. And yes, I am in pain. It just shows how delusional my mind is going right now. I just spent the last few minutes contemplating how to kidnap a child, and I really don't think that's safe, and I wouldn't condone that to anyone else. I don't recommend it. Your mind drifts. Sorry about that. I won't kidnap a child, it's just there was a child sitting outside a house. I thought, she could easily be kidnapped. So then I made a series of plans on how to do so as a burly man, of which I'm not, so that helps, you know. I didn't personify it as myself. Anyway, I'm gonna keep running. Ken Schloobler, the founder of Leadville 100, he said, make pain your friend and you'll never be alone. And right now, I'm doing just that. I'm making peace with my pain and I am calling it friend. And we've just hit a marathon. You know, I take back what I said earlier about this. It's not gross. When you're running, it's the manner of God. It's brilliant. I'm so happy I have it. That's it. 27.5 miles in. Yes. We literally have 5k left. And I'm so excited. I think there's such joy in just being aware of your body and really taking delight in, you know, the body that you have. And it honours yourself as a person, it honours your family, you were there at your conception and birth, it honours your creator. And I've just it's been crazy. I've injured myself so much growing up. Like yesterday I fell over. My immediate thought was, what if I can't do the ultra tomorrow? And you know what? I wouldn't have minded if my knee was that bad that I couldn't move it and run. But it's only a graze. And the issue would be, if I didn't do today's, I would do it next week or in a few days. I don't know, there's just something within me that wants that movement, that freedom. Even if it means pain, And I think that's why I love performing. That's why I love music. Because music makes you move, right? Performing on stage is like nothing else when it comes to the movement of music. And I mean, I took up running like a lot of people properly and a bit obsessively at the beginning of lockdown, because everything I was doing was cancelled. First for the first few months, and then like from lockdown March until right now in July 2021, I'm at such a back level. I've got an album in the works and it's fully recorded and mixed and mastered, and I'm waiting on a tour, and there are so many things that COVID has completely ripped away, and I'm hoping that they still happen, because I'm not finished making music and I'm not finished being Jessie Dipper, even though I have in the process of lockdown changed my name because I am married. But that lack of performing made me go a bit balmy, and I need to find that sense of out of comfort zoneness, that sense of challenge and testing physically and emotionally and spiritually, and I found that in running, and I haven't really stopped. Like maybe when music begins properly as a full-time job as it was before COVID, sure, I'll probably not run as much, and I hope I won't run as much because I run a lot. And like this, you know, I could be spending time playing my guitar over these last 6 hours, but instead I'm running because I need that sense of it's almost like I'm chasing the jarringness of what it is to stand in front of 1,000 people. I love that sense of everything could go wrong at the last minute, and you know, it's like running. I'm relying solely on my body. Everything could go wrong at the last minute, and that's a blessing to be able to move like that and have that choice, have that independence to be able to pursue these dreams, just as pursuing the dream of ultra running might be the same as pursuing the dream of being a really, really good singer-songwriter. And I'm still not done with that dream yet. It's just, I've been grieving ever since I lost my first gig over a year ago now, and I think running's helped me to grieve, to get my mind active and my body active. I've needed to give time for a bit more of exploration with who I am, to be able to know what it is I'm meant to be writing and what it is that I should be putting in the mouths of people who I hope will sing my songs. So those are my ponderings. Maybe that's why I've done this 50k, but it's not over yet. And as usual, with every long run, I'm circling car parks to get that last point of a mile. And yes, we did it! Luke! Luke! Luke!
You did it!
We did it!
Woo!
Woo! I need a pizza and a bar.
Woo!
After 31 miles.
Ooh, it's very flat.
Ah, that's better. Ah, yes.